I always ask people what the first record they bought with their own money is because
Yeah,
just like, I always feel like that's a really interesting thing because, when when somebody gives you something that's wonderful in its own right too, but
yeah.
the idea of making the decision, saving up and going and making a purchase for the first time, for somebody like, like us, like for me, it was Queen's The Game. Uh,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I literally was like 8 years old, and I
Good.
probably heard, Another One Bites the Dust and was just like, I like this.
Yeah,
I bought
totally.
I still play that in DJ sets and, Dragon Attack, my old band, did a cover of that one. But what's
I always remember the bass line from that song. I will always remember the first time I heard that song because of the bass line.
which one? Dragon
Another one has to dice.
another
Another one has to dice. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, it was later on because my mom, as you can probably imagine from that experience, had the greatest record collection. So I lived basically off her collection. So I don't remember how old I was, but I know it was brand new. So whatever year the album came out, the first one I ever bought myself was Judas Priest Painkiller. Yeah. And
Starter.
I remember putting that in and being like, wow, I've never heard anything as brutal as this for this moment. It was pretty cool.
Was it a vinyl record or a cassette or
It was probably vinyl.
yeah,
I imagine it was vinyl. I remember it being vinyl at the time, yeah.
right on. All right, so it started with that. Moved onward, then you got into black metal and did some touring and stuff like that.
I
Uh,
did. We got signed to Earache Records. Got flown to New
that's
York.
amazing.
Yeah, flown to New York. The whole deal. Put up in a hotel room. I
Right?
got really lucky. My first experience.
Yeah, that's great. I mean,
Uh,
that's a legendary label right there. I'm like
yeah,
picturing my Godflesh albums and all these other records that I had that were on that label.
yeah.
Okay, so we definitely had the metal stuff. Did punk ever come into play?
It did. I think that was before I started on my music journey as a musician playing. I think that was I grew up, in high school, going through listening to a lot of punk, going to punk shows, getting in the pits. Um, there was I got into ska too, which I didn't remember until very recently. There was a band in Grand Rapids where I grew up called Mustard Plug that I used to go to all their shows. It was big into the ska punk.
Sure.
So there was a brief moment.
Yeah, ska was. I had my little flirts with it as well. In San Jose. Plus, we would get like fish
Oh yeah.
come through, and that was always the one that I was digging was Fishbone and English Beat.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
but yeah, I mean, it all. I think that all kind of cross pollinates with itself. Like I started with pop and then rock and then metal and punk and then
Same.
and then I think I heard Jane's Addiction and everything just flew out the window at that point. I was like, I can like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, I still love one of my favorite growing up pop artists was Falco. I don't know if you remember Falco.
Course. I played
Super
that
obsessed.
what's it? Not Taco. That was the other band. They were famous for what's it was like Mozart.
Oh, Rock Me Amadeus?
Rock Me Amadeus. That's right.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it was progression. Loved jazz. It was but I started with pop, got into metal. Thank you, Mom. Got